I just wanted to go through some Vaush clips that I found hilarious, but I didn't think warranted their own video, so I decided to lump them in here. In this first clip, Vaush is debating someone that he's labelled a climate change denier. I don't know if that's true or not, and leftists often use that label inappropriately to slander their opponents. But the clip is funny because it just shows how Vaush debates on topics he clearly knows nothing about.
All graphic, but it's the data from 2003.
Wait,
but
is it 60?
I want to draw your attention to this one because everybody can see that there's no correlation, and now you can win $10,000. You can just.
What's happening here is Vaush has no clue how to retort, so he's desperately scouring through his chat to find any information that he can use to win the debate, because, he doesn't actually know anything. This link from his chat is the one he ended up going with, as you'll see in a moment.
No positive.
Sure. Here's an article. IPCC researchers admit global warming fraud from the New American. So this data right here, it looks like this comes from conspiracy sites.
This should already raise some eyebrows for anyone who knows anything about climate change. The IPCC is fraudulent? It's one of the more respected sources of information on climate change. This article is from a right-wing newspaper. The article claims that IPCC scientists who are supporting the theory of climate change are hiding information to make climate change more alarming than it really is. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't really care. But it's just funny that you're sharing an article as evidence for your points when it's claiming the opposite of what you believe.
But with the 97% of scientists who agree with me, are they lying too?
There is no consensus.
Well, according to that article that you just shared, apparently they were in fact lying and hiding emails that didn't fit their narrative. Again, I don't know if this is true or not. It's just funny that Vaush is so stupid that he has to rely on his fans for information. And because he's doing it in real time, he doesn't have the opportunity to check if what his fans are feeding him is true, or even supports his arguments in this case. How embarrassing. Continuing the thread of Vaush not knowing anything, this next clip comes from Bad Empanada's channel. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the original clip, despite my attempts. But it was so amazing that I couldn't leave it out.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Portugal was in South America.
Jesus. And while I do admire his honesty somewhat, if this was an average Joe off the streets, I would think this is kinda stupid, but everyone has their ignorance and blind spots in their knowledge. But this is what you do. It's your job. And Jesus Christ, this is so basic. And it's not like it's an insignificant country. Portugal has played a major role historically and contemporarily with their decriminalization of drugs and being a good player in the EU. The next clip came from a back and forth between Vaush and Mentis Wave. This came at the suggestion of one of you guys. Sorry, I don't want to name drop you without your permission. And I was in the process of making a full response, but Mentis Wave released his own, and I didn't think it made sense to rehash everything he'd said in his video. But I did want to touch on these clips that were fucking annoying.
So again, libertarians, the main thing that libertarians care about is taxes and child pornography, and in this case we're talking about the taxes.
Vaush is the last person you'd be expecting to be throwing around these kinds of accusations so flippantly, even though he has a long history of flirting with CP, lolly, and lowering the age of consent. And Mentis Wave has none. And a reminder of this clip, which I've played before on the channel, but it's been a while, so I think it's worth refreshing everybody's memory.
It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well.
This is one of the reasons why I don't really like going over like libertarian arguments, is because they're so unserious that responding to them makes you unserious. I don't want to be arguing on this level, you know? I want to be in reality.
This is the guy who claimed the periodic table was arbitrary and that H2O isn't water, it's aqua.